Welcome to the Drive-In Movie Podcast, now playing Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Pink!
Yeah, what he said.
Hopefully you guys can actually see me this time if you're watching on YouTube
So
or
sorry.
social.
So sorry about last time.
Sorry.
Dude, how does this movie compare as far as like your favorite movies go?
Revenge of the Sith.
This one's pretty high for you, no?
Revenge of the Sith is interchangeable with...
Should we...
Yeah.
I'll leave it on. Okay, go on.
Michael's playing with lights. Revenge of the Sith is interchangeable with Episode 1.
Wow.
No, wait. Time out. I looked down and I noticed I was wearing a Phantom Menace shirt.
Okay.
Episode 3 is interchangeable for me with my all-time favorite movies with Spider-Man 2. So they switch between 1 and 2 frequently. It really just depends on my mood. So right now, Revenge of the Sith is number 1 because I'm all amped up to watch it on the big screen again.
Yeah.
I've been watching Andor. I've been all in Star Wars. Like, I'm all in Revenge of the Sith right now.
We are recording this like the day before the 20th anniversary or something.
Yeah, so Michael cheated.
I did, a little bit.
He broke my heart. We were supposed to be watching Revenge of the Sith together at the theater. And now I'm going by myself.
Well, I had to go to Seattle. I'm sorry. Something came up, and
one of our friends had to get engaged, and he had to have an engagement party. Yeah. Honestly,
kind of inconsiderate.
Bad friend. I've been very vocal. Like we've known Revenge of the Sith was re-releasing in theaters on April 24th for months.
You would think you would plan this around our schedule.
Bad friend.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
red
flags.
I'll let him know.
Red flags.
I am staying with him in Seattle, so I'll have plenty of time to let him know.
Yeah. You better start playing Revenge of the Sith during the engagement party, just like in the middle of the party, just go to the DVD,
be like,
grab the remote, and be like, click, be like, this is what you
get the DVD,
from. You should.
Is that what you said, or the TV?
On the TV.
Okay, I thought you said DVD, and I was like, right, because people still use DVDs.
I have the Revenge,
but I did rewatch episode 3 in preparation for this podcast to keep up with the spirit of filming these episodes right after we finish watching.
Yeah, now you make me look like the dummy because I did not do that.
So we all messed up a little bit, but we are going to be here talking about Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith.
So, okay, let's dive into one of my currently my all-time favorite movie, of all time.
Do you have any thoughts that you want to get started with, or do you want me to get started?
Listen, I am not going to give Revenge of the Sith the first 10 Michaels of the podcast because I don't feel like that's fair. Yeah. So I'm going to give Revenge of the Sith a 9.9 Michaels.
Whoa.
Okay, you know what?
You think it's almost a perfect movie?
Okay. No, I do not. I do not think it's anywhere near perfect.
Okay.
I really don't. I want to be very clear. Disclaimer for the episode. I do not think Revenge of the Sith is a near perfect movie. I do not think it is a perfect movie. I do not think objectively it is better than like Oppenheimer, Interstellar, these like Sinners. I do not think it is objectively better than these movies. Mm-hmm. But if you ask me to save one forever and delete the rest for all time in history, I am picking Revenge of the Sith.
But the problem is that
it doesn't matter, Michael.
Oh, I thought we had a podcast where I was allowed to speak.
No.
I didn't realize that you were allowed to say.
We're talking.
Don't talk, Michael. I thought we were doing a co-host podcast situation.
No. When Revenge of the Sith, there are specific rules. Okay.
What are the rules?
You cannot question my love for Revenge of the Sith.
I didn't question it.
You cannot try to fix my love for Revenge of the Sith.
I'm not trying to fix your anything. I was about to give my opinion.
All right. So I'm going to give, I'm going to give Revenge of the Sith 9 Michaels. Therefore, it is not the highest amount of Michaels I've given on the podcast.
Oh,
but
wow.
It's still, because Sinners was 9.5.
Right.
That way I'm still conveying how much I love it.
Okay. Oh, you're conveying how much you love it, but still presenting some level of objectivity.
Yes.
And saying there are better movies.
Yes.
Okay. I gave it a solid 7, Michaels.
No!
I gave it a solid. It's a pretty good movie.
Too low.
It's pretty
Too
good.
low.
It's pretty good.
7 is pass. Like, you gave it a passing grade.
I don't think that's totally
70s
fair.
70 is what a bad student aims for on a test.
Yeah, but also when you're a student and you're making grades, but you're trying to prove to your teacher, you're like, I know the material and I can get this question right more than half of the time. I'm not just guessing.
Okay, wait.
For a movie grade, it's different because it's like it's more good than it is bad.
We actually, you know what? We have something there. Okay. Really smart kids who don't try get 70s and they're okay with it, but they have the potential to be an A student. Some students, it is what it is. A C is the best they can do, right? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but I don't see.
So Revenge of the Sith without Clone Wars, the best it can do is a C. But if you consider Clone Wars and you put all that, because clearly the Clone Wars series, if it did anything, it elevated Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, but also I feel like Revenge of the Sith almost is what makes Clone Wars so good.
That's what makes it a beautiful relationship. They both feed off each other.
Yeah, I think that obviously because the TV show came out so much later and because it needed to perfectly fit within the story, they had to make their show perfectly match the movie. So it's like, people always say Clone Wars makes Revenge of the Sith so much better, but I almost think that it's like reverse and say that because you know what's going to happen, it makes watching Clone Wars that much like better because you're like, oh no, all these Jedi are gonna die and Anakin's gonna turn to the dark side.
But it is a two-way street because it adds like to the depth of the characters in Revenge of the Sith. Everything is so much more tragic now.
But I will say that
it goes both ways.
But I would say that I would rate the Clone Wars over Revenge of the Sith. Like, I would give Clone Wars more than a 7 out of 10.
Have you ever watched the final 4 episodes of Clone Wars synced with Revenge of the Sith?
Oh, no, I've heard of this.
I've done this.
They've edited it in. They've cut it into like...
See, I never watched a version like that. I literally would pause, go to the next one, pause. Like, I would go back and forth.
Oh, okay.
And it was still magical.
Wow. You put in a lot of effort for that then.
I freaking love this movie. And I love anything that makes the movie better.
Yeah. If Ahsoka were in this movie, it might be a different story.
Could you imagine if this movie was just made 10 years later?
I know. Because the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, I know that in canon, like, Ahsoka exists and Anakin has a Padawan here and everything, but when you're watching the movie, like, by itself, you don't really get that, obviously, because she didn't exist yet.
Yeah, but so that is kind of like the magic of Star Wars, is that you started off with something, and then it always... That's how it works. You start backwards. Like, we're saying, like, oh, Revenge of the Sith made Clone Wars better, just like the sequels made the prequels better, right?
Yeah. And speaking of which, I do want to say something when I'm watching this back. You know that scene where the Emperor, like, jumps at the 5 Jedi Masters and then and he does the little spin thing? It's still so stupid. Like, everyone says there's 5 Jedi Masters there, and they do nothing as he jumps at them and then just stabs them once.
I think it's an element of surprise.
Okay, the excuse that people give is that he's doing a dark side force move with the yell. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't. Tell me more.
Oh my god. The excuse is that they're saying, okay, that yell is actually like a force move, kind of like lightning or something.
Oh, and it like stuns them almost?
Exactly, like it scares them. And so that they're literally paralyzed with fear so that he can just stab them. That's what apparently that's what they say is actually going on, and that's the excuse as to why these Jedi Masters, these warp trained, battle ready, battle hardened Jedi Masters don't make a single move against this guy, even though they have him outnumbered. And honestly, like, they also kind of have the jump on him.
You know what though? But here's something that is very important, I think.
Yeah.
Out of all the prequels, the sequels, right?
Yeah.
This is legitimately the first time you see the Emperor with his lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
It did not happen in
the original series.
It did not happen. So this is the first time. And so I think, like, the motive behind it is that you're trying to establish, like, his strength.
This might be the only movie where the Emperor has a lightsaber.
This is the only, besides Clone Wars.
And it's just that one scene,
the only time.
Too. Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, oh no, it's not that one scene because he has a duel with Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the first time. And so I think immediately part of the shock is like, oh my gosh, he just took out these 5 Jedi Masters in one. I think that's what not that they executed it well,
right?
But I think that is the intent.
Because that's the thing, is that if that was the intent, then it should have, like, there should have been a little bit more show to it. There should have been, like, a little bit of, like, display, of a little bit of flair. Because when you're watching it, even with that excuse in mind, you're like, this is so dumb. And it's not actually explained in any of the movies or TV shows. So it just seems like something that they added after the fact, kind of like how J.K. Rowling, like, kind of adds little quirks to all of her characters after the books are written that aren't actually anywhere in the text.
Yeah.
So it's like, that scene really bothers me to this day.
Okay, I think that's fair. What other critiques do you have of Revenge of the Sith?
Let's see.
Which are all stupid because obviously it is a perfect movie.
I again was taking notes during the movie because I treat this podcast very seriously. I thought, so these aren't actually all critiques. A lot of this is what they did right. I think the CGI was so good considering it's an early 2000s movie.
Bang!
Let's
go.
It looks better than a lot of stuff made today.
Let's go.
Like, from the opening
opening sequence is so good. I love that sequence. I love the opening of Revenge of the Sith. How it just goes right to it.
Yeah.
They're in this dogfight. There's B-droids.
Explosions everywhere.
The purple with the ships. Yeah. It's amazing. I love the visuals of it.
And it doesn't look like an early 2000s scene. Like, if that movie came out today, that would still hold up. That would still be a good CGI scene. And in fact, I think it's probably better than a lot of what's being made.
It was incredible. It's a great opening sequence. And then they crash into the ship, they flip out, and then shoom. Droids on fire. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie of all time.
I think this might be the most hell yeah movie ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? I may have a debate with that one.
Not like the best movie ever made, but it's the movie that I think more times than any other movie you go, hell yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah.
I don't feel that way about Revenge of the Sith.
We were just talking about the
dog
fight
that's one sequence. That's the beginning.
But then it's also, okay, then you immediately go to that fight with Count Dooku, okay? And then you immediately go to, like, the ship crash landing. And then
the first 15 minutes is very hell yeah.
No, that's like an hour. That's like 45 minutes.
No, it's a first opening sequence.
Dude, that is like
the Count Dooku.
That's at least to the Count Dooku fight. No, I'm talking about to the point where they crash land. Like, that's like 30 minutes. It's a long scene. Like, no, I mean, not a long scene. It's like a long time.
I don't think it's. This is why I don't think it's like the most hell yeah movie of all time, because like after the opening, a hell yeah movie to me builds. Like, it builds and builds and builds and builds to our like, oh my gosh, yes, hell yeah. But if you start with the hell yeah and the rest of it goes down, because it's very tragic.
Okay, you and I are disagreeing on what a hell yeah movie is, because I don't think that really it needs to have great story, great characters, or anything. It just needs to be cool.
Oh, you're a floozy with your hell yes.
Yeah, because it's just a hell yeah. It's not like I'm saying like I'm not critiquing it. Like I'm not wearing like my monocle and
so you go yes, Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting to death. Hell yeah,
exactly.
I'm going. Please stop.
No, I'm seeing Grievous spinning his lightsabers like a helicopter blade and going hell yeah.
That's hell yeah.
You know?
That's hell yeah. I'll give you that one.
That's what I mean, but that's
like to me when I think hell yeah, I'm thinking like Avengers Endgame portals, like hell yeah, like screaming and like cheering in my seat in a theater. Like Spider-Man No Way Home, like Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire.
No.
The three of them swing. Those are hell yeah moments.
I'm talking about moments that just speak
chicken jockey. Hell yeah.
Exactly. I'm talking about something that just speaks to you primally. Just you feel it in your gut. You're not really thinking about it intellectually.
See, I can't look at Revenge of the Sith and not feel pain.
You're right.
In a good way.
Are you one of those people who like every time you watch the movie, you're like, I hope Anakin doesn't turn to the dark side?
Yeah, a little bit. Every time I watch Revenge of the Sith,
like, maybe this time.
Maybe this time
will be different.
It'll be different.
Yeah. But dude, the thing is too is like
I'm on the hook for Revenge of the Sith.
It's the most hell yeah movie, and it's got great CGI and stuff. But like, dude, some of the dialogue is just so corny.
Of course. Oh, that's 2005.
The whole scene but it's not just 2005, because the whole scene with like Anakin and Natalie Portman, Padme, where he's like, "You're so beautiful," and he's like, "It's because I'm so in love," and she's like, "Oh no, it's because I'm so in love with you," or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
They're talking about. It's like,
yes, the dialogue is not great.
What are you talking about?
George Lucas.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Hey,
what?
Hey! Don't cross the line. I was giving you the Padme Anakin dialogue. But we do not.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Is he wrong? From his point of view, the Jedi are evil.
But he should have just said the Jedi are evil. He shouldn't have said, well, if you look at it from where I'm standing.
He's right, though. He technically is right. He was correct.
But it's corny dialogue.
No.
Yes.
I don't think. Yes. I think the environment. The situation, the fight, all of it.
That's why.
Then you are lost.
That's a good line.
See, but good setup.
From my point of view, it's like he's trying to have a whole conversation in the middle of this sword fight on a lava river after he just killed a bunch of children.
But no, when you consider the music and everything, like situation, that's when corny's okay. When you have a corny scene and there's nothing redeeming the corn, then that's different. That's completely different.
That's the last time you want to have a corny line. At the pinnacle, it's the last time you want to have a corny line.
But it's recovered so well, then you are lost. Like that whole moment,
but you don't
flows so well.
You don't want to have to be balanced out. You want it to just be perfect.
Say the line,
great.
Say the line.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Say.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil.
The Jedi are evil.
Then you are lost.
No, I think that from my point of view, the Jedi, because that's the whole point for them. Then you are lost. No, I disagree. I don't think the setup. I think the setup it works.
I'll move on then, but I disagree with you.
I disagree with you,
dude. when I was a kid, I thought the holograms were so cool. Like for the Jedi, like when the Jedi are on different planets and they're calling into the Jedi Master, the Jedi Council meeting.
The original FaceTime.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. I wrote Jedi Zoom meeting. Yeah. Because now after the pandemic, I'm like, they're literally just having a Zoom meeting.
There's even the delay of like having to end the meeting.
Yeah. And they'll have like a little feedback, like there will be like a little bar that like travels up their body. Yeah,
can you hear me?
Like, can you hear me? They're literally just like working from home.
Even in Attack of the Clones, when like Kenobi's trying to,
he's getting bad reception on
Geonosis or Genesis.
Oh no,
Kamino. Yeah,
Kamino. It's Kamino during the raid.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Kamino.
Well, he's also on Geonosis in that movie.
Yeah, but that's not when he's having the bad Zoom meeting.
Okay, sorry, I forgot where he lost connection.
Mr. Notepad, because I'm professional. I take this podcast seriously.
I didn't watch episode 2. I watched episode 3.
Unbelievable.
But dude, yeah, the Jedi Council is literally having Zoom meetings. And when I was a kid, I thought that's so cool. The future's awesome. And now that I'm in the future, I'm like, dude, I just know that like in the background, they're doing other stuff. Like they're pretending to be like tuned into this meeting.
He's playing like real life Tetris with the Force.
Yeah, they're playing Minecraft like in the background.
He's moving the blocks.
Yeah, Kiadi Mundi's like nothing on my end. Unmuting for 1 second. Yeah.
Master. Oh my god. Okay, you know when they're in like the master like room, right? And they hologram into the room.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, yes. Okay, I was thinking in my head. I was thinking like right before Kenobi goes off to meet Grievous, they're like in that little like hallway, and he's Zoom meeting in.
Okay.
But with the visuals of like the chairs and literally.
Yes, that's the thing. And also like you see like it the opposite way. Like you see Yoda on Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
And everyone else is a hologram. You know, because he's zooming in to the Jedi Council meeting. So it's like I'm just imagining like Plo Koon like unmuting for a second to be like, yeah. So when are we getting those quarterly reports? Like like
what do you think of Yoda in this movie?
He's a monster.
Yeah, he is a demon. And dude, I'm like, about time. It's about time we show off how much of a demon Yoda is.
Bro, he decapitates 2 clones.
In 6 movies, you only see Yoda actually... No. Yoda versus Dooku. I take it back.
Yeah, but he doesn't decapitate Dooku. Anakin does that.
That's true.
But that's the thing. I'm like, Yoda, when he was originally like introduced, was a wacky Kermit character. Yeah. And it developed to the point where in this movie, he's literally killing people in like one of the most gruesome ways possible. Yeah. Like literally like a way that we have deemed inhumane.
He is my worst nightmare. Like honestly, like not my worst nightmare, but he is like, if you wanted to make a horror movie off Star Wars, you can honestly make one off of Yoda's species. Yeah. That'd be so good.
His voice could also be very creepy.
Yeah.
Like if he wasn't like a wise, benevolent leader, he could be a creepy, fucked up monster.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
No, I had the same exact thought when I saw him going demon mode. I was like, this is a completely different side of Yoda that I forgot existed. Yeah. I don't like his fight with the Emperor, though.
Really?
I don't like... I can't tell what's happening.
Do you probably hate the most?
What?
Oh, I hate when he like his claws on the thing.
Oh yeah, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah,
I
still hate that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Oh my god, because it digs into like the metal. He's like really digging in there.
Can I tell you something that I did not like about Revenge of the Sith? I'm going to be fair. I'm going to prove I'm objective. Let me tell you something I don't think is necessary and I don't like.
What?
I actually think Chewbacca being in this movie is totally unnecessary.
I thought the same thing.
I think it's totally unnecessary. I think it's just there as a callback because that's the only callback they can really make.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than a cameo because he has that whole battle sequence. I think you could have had the Wookiees.
Yeah, but you don't even know it's Chewbacca until there's one line from Yoda where he's like,
you know it's Chewbacca. All the Wookiees look different except Chewbacca.
Yeah, but even then he's never like he's only center stage once because even then it's like he's in like the back left behind Yoda and you're like, is that Chewbacca?
Yeah, to me it's just always like there's a reason why the like C-3PO and R2-D2 don't remember anything because they get their minds wiped.
Yeah,
but like you're telling me Luke Skywalker is talking about Yoda to like Han Solo and Princess Leia and Chewbacca is just over there like
no, exactly. Like when I saw that scene this time, because I used to think, oh, that's cool, that's Chewbacca, I know who he is. But then when I saw the scene this time, I was like, you're telling me all through the original series, Luke's like, I need to go see my Jedi Master, and the whole time it's like if Chewbacca just heard the name Yoda, he's like, oh, could I tag along and see my old buddy?
Theory time.
What?
Does Han Solo actually understand Chewbacca? Like, are we sure this whole time, like, Chewbacca's like, yes, he's like, can you do the Chewbacca voice?
No.
Okay, well, can you... That was actually really good. Yeah, okay, can you imagine, like, Chewbacca goes, and then he's actually saying, I know Yoda! I know Yoda.
Oh, and Han Solo.
And then Han Solo's like, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about either. Chewie.
No, dude, we'll never make the Kessel run in 12 parsecs.
Could you imagine the whole time Chewie's like actually like upset and frustrated, but Han's just so cocky he thinks he understands him.
He thinks he knows the Wookiee.
Yeah, like could we like I think this is a legitimate theory. Maybe the whole time we were wrong. Maybe Chewie was trying to tell them the whole time he knows Yoda.
Right. But, okay, well, that's a two-way street, too, because then Luke's telling Yoda about his friends, and he's like, yeah, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and Yoda's never like, wait.
Chewie?
Go back? I know that guy.
But, like, Yoda has, like, the wisdom to be like, no, like, I need to be, like, separate.
Oh, I'm in exile. Yeah.
I'm in exile. Chewie doesn't really have an excuse.
If Luke ever says Yoda by name to Chewbacca, it would not make sense for Chewbacca not to visit Dagobah.
Right. And I think honestly that Han Solo doesn't understand Chewie, and Chewie is just so tired of being gaslit that he'll say something and then he just won't fight it. He'll be like, all right.
Right, yeah, whatever.
Is that the proper use of gaslit? I'm tired of being gaslit?
Kinda. Close enough.
You guys get what I'm saying. You guys get what I'm putting down.
Right. Natalie Portman, still super bad.
Mommy.
Still so
Mommy
bad.
Padme. Okay, right. I have a question.
Yeah.
Let's be fair, okay? Let's have an honest conversation about it. Okay, if you had to tier the Star Wars ladies, right?
Uh-huh.
Padme's at the top, right?
Probably.
What's your ranking of Star Wars baddies?
Who else is there?
Okay, you have Padme, you have Leia, you have Ahsoka, you have Sabine, you have...
I don't think it's anyone but Padme in my opinion.
Yeah,
I love all of the...
You have Ventress?
I love all of these characters, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I think the only one that I like think is bad is Natalie Portman.
Satine? You have Satine? Yes, I agree. I think if I had to rank the Star Wars baddies, Star Wars mommies...
I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that.
Mommy Padme! If I had to rank the Star Wars baddies, I would go Padme at first, Princess Leia, Ahsoka. Why are you looking at me like that?
She's got tails for hair.
Don't
and
judge
she's
me.
Orange.
We listen and we don't judge.
Okay.
Did you have a crush on Shigo growing up?
A little bit.
So how can you judge me for having a crush on Ahsoka?
Very different.
One's orange, one's green.
Well,
in fact, green is less appealing than orange.
She wears green. She's just very pale.
No, she's green.
She's got a green tint, but she's not
green.
She's not like emerald green.
Oh, so you wouldn't?
She's got like gray skin, and she's wearing green.
Unbelievable, Michael. Unbelievable.
Anyway, I did my homework, by the way. Speaking of all this Star Wars stuff, I saw the first 4 episodes of Andor. I think they're pretty good. I honestly didn't even know the concept going into it.
So good.
I know season 2's happening, but I'm just now watching season 1. Is it like a heist show? They're still setting up.
It's a lot of heists. A lot of heists.
So they've explained what the job is.
Uh-huh.
But they haven't really done anything job related yet. He's escaped like the original planet, and he's like now hanging out with the rebels, and they're talking about robbing the armory or whatever it is, the garrison. And so I'm excited for the heist to happen.
So you like the first 3 episodes?
I've seen 4.
Yeah, but I know. But you like the first 3 episodes?
Yeah.
Is episode 4 your favorite out of the 4?
It's hard to rank them because I binged them. Okay. So I don't know which one is my favorite. But I am excited to see season 2 now.
The complaint of Andor is that it's very slow. It's a lot of talking, which it is.
I still do feel like they're setting up, and I'm 4 episodes in.
I think the strength.
I'm just now figuring out what the show is about.
I think the strength of Andor is that it is very real. Yeah. It's very like the stories are very human.
Yeah. Which you don't get a lot.
You don't get a lot of in Star Wars.
Right.
I've seen Andor, the first 3 episodes of Andor season 2.
Okay.
Without spoilers, I would say the show continues to be real, authentic, great action, big, beautiful set pieces that are also real, not just volume.
Big, beautiful set pieces.
Great characters. No, the characters are great. It is slow at times, but I think it just adds to the richness of the story, and that you appreciate that build at the end of it all. Again, I haven't seen all of season 2. We know obviously what it's leading to, so that's the only thing I wish I didn't know. But
right, we already know that Rogue One is the end of the story.
Ends. But you haven't even got to the meat of season 1 yet, so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Did you do your homework?
I did not watch a single second of Fallout.
That's what I was complaining about when you said 4 episodes. I was like, there's no way you're going to do that.
Yeah, but like, hear me out. There was 3 days in between filming, right? And then I had to watch Andor. I had to watch the other shows I care about. There's a lot going on.
Dude, I watched the first 4 episodes of Andor, which was my homework, and I watched Revenge of the Sith. So it's like I did my homework and then also watched the movie that we're making an episode about.
I gave you a warning that I was never good at homework.
Then why were you the one who said 4 episodes?
I don't know. Okay. I thought I had a chance.
I think we need to be more realistic.
I also started watching One Piece.
I'm giving you a new homework assignment.
Okay, new homework assignment.
I need you to watch. Apparently, I haven't seen any episodes yet. Apparently, the new season of The Last of Us has started.
I haven't seen any of The Last of Us.
Okay, then watch the pilot episode for The Last of Us.
Okay, so you want me to abandon Fallout?
Yeah, because it's not relevant right now. And season 2 is. I'm watching Andor.
Okay.
And season 2 is happening. I'm watching season 1. Season 2 is happening for The Last of Us. So you need to start that. How about that? We're basically watching equal shows.
Okay. I still think I need to be fair, and I need to watch 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I think I'll watch 4 episodes.
If you think that you can fit in 4 episodes in the week.
I have 2 flights in the upcoming weekend.
Do you want my homework to be the next 4 episodes of Andor, or what do you think?
Keep watching Andor. Just keep watching Andor. Just keep going through Andor. Because you never know, I may actually finish The Last of Us. Uh-huh. If I really enjoy it, I'm just going to keep rolling through.
Right. Well, I'm going to read a comment of ours that we got on YouTube. This is actually from somebody that we know.
Okay, cool.
Mahir Lule 8720 said, "Can we watch the Lord of the Rings movies? I'm tired of Michael only having seen the Horiatas cut." Do you know what the Horiatas cut is?
This is some like random person we went to school with. Not even the same grade.
So let me.
Michael got wait. I know what the Horiatas cut is.
Okay.
Michael got recapped Lord of the Rings as a child.
Okay. Well, you really just cut to the punchline of the.
I did.
I'm gonna tell the story then. So, I've never seen the Lord of the Rings movies to this day, but I kind of have seen all of them. I haven't seen any of them, and I've kind of seen all of them. So when I was a kid, I had a friend who I'm not
say his name. Yeah,
I'm not going to say his first name for anonymity purposes, but we call it the Horiatas cut because I had this buddy who. When we were like 6 years old, right, I went to his house and he was like, "Michael, there's these new movies." I don't know if they were new, but they were new to him. "Michael, there's these new movies. They're awesome. You got to watch them. I'm obsessed with them." And I have them all on DVD, so I'm just going to pop them in. And he popped in the first one, but like 30 seconds in, he started getting like self-conscious. Like, you know how you show someone a song that you really like?
Oh, and they're not digging it?
Or it's like you start getting really self-conscious and you're like, "Oh, the song is ass." Like, because you're like, what are they going to think? Are they going to think it's bad? So he's like, "Oh, this part's really boring. Let me fast forward." And he would fast forward to a fight scene and then be like, "Okay, this part's good, this part's good." And then we would watch the whole fight scene. I have no idea who any of the characters are, where they are, what they're doing, why they're fighting. And then the fight would be over and then he'd be like, "This part's boring too, let me fast forward." And he would just keep fast forwarding to all of the fight scenes for all 3 movies. So I to this day have no idea what any of the characters' names are, what they're doing, where they are, but I've seen every single fight scene in order. And that's called the Horiatas cut. So, it's not great. And I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but I still need to see the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yes, you do. You 100% do. I want to watch Lord of the Rings with you.
That's the problem, is that everyone I've told this to says, "Oh, we need to watch it." And so now it's to the point where no matter who I watch the movie with, someone else is going to be upset because they're like, "I wanted to watch those movies."
I'd actually be really down to watch Lord of the Rings with me here too.
It needs to be a watch party.
Yeah, I think we're
going to
throw a big party.
And Jenny needs to be there too.
I think, and if we get 1 million followers by July, everyone is invited.
Yeah, we'll watch them in public. We'll do a screening. How about
honestly? Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Well, that's our subscriber comment for the episode.
Oh, nice. I want to play a game with you. I want to go back to Star Wars because this is a Star Wars themed episode.
Right, this is a Star Wars episode.
I want to play a game, and I want to truly understand where you're ranking Revenge of the Sith among Star Wars. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a movie, and then I'm going to say a second Star Wars movie.
All right.
And you're going to pick which one that you prefer. The winner goes on to the next round. The loser is dumped. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Revenge of the Sith or the Clone Wars movie?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. Revenge of the Sith or Attack of the Clones?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, I don't like the hesitation there, but noted.
Well, I just have to compare the movies real fast.
Revenge of the Sith or Empire Strikes Back?
Empire Strikes Back.
No!
Yep.
Crap. Okay. Such a wrong answer. Empire Strikes Back or A New Hope?
Empire Strikes Back.
Really? Over the original?
Yep.
Unbelievable. Okay, Empire Strikes Back or Phantom Menace?
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. Empire Strikes Back or Rogue One?
There might be some people mad at me for this one, but Empire Strikes Back. There are a lot of people who think Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie ever made. I can't stand the main characters. The main characters are so boring, and Andor is probably like redemption for Cassian, but in Rogue One, I could not stand him. I thought he was so boring. I did think every side character was interesting and cool, but the main female lead and the main male lead, I hate.
To be fair, I think I'm actually in the minority for thinking Rogue One is better than Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
But
There's a lot of movies you would put over The Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, I would. Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi?
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back or Solo, A Star Wars Story?
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, so Empire Strikes Back is your favorite
That's
Star Wars
my number
movie of all
one.
time.
Well, it hasn't always been my number one. When I was like 5 years old, I thought Attack of the Clones was the best movie because there were the most Jedi in it.
That's fair.
There was like that one scene where like and Padme, yeah, that might have awakened something in me.
Can you give me your top 5?
Yeah. Empire Strikes Back. What's number 6?
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Whoa.
Yep. A New Hope.
Okay.
Revenge of the Sith.
4?
Yeah. Maybe I want to put Attack of the Clones next, and then maybe Rogue One. Because the only thing good about Phantom Menace is the Darth Maul scene, and none of the sequels, they're fine, but none of them really do it for me.
Do you know what's funny?
What?
I didn't bring up any of the sequels. Empire Strikes Back or The Force Awakens?
It's always going to be The Empire Strikes Back. I don't know what to tell you.
That's funny. I don't know if I like that top 5. Here's my top 5. Okay,
yeah, give me your top 5.
At number 5, I want to say Return of the Jedi.
All right.
Number 4, I've actually switched. So to be fair, Rogue One's gone down on my list.
All right.
So
where did it used to be?
It used to be 2.
Wow. Okay.
I have Return of the Jedi. I feel like this is incorrect. Now I'm questioning everything. No, you know what? Screw it.
This down.
No, screw it. No, I got this. Empire Strikes Back is 5. Return of the Jedi is 4. Rogue One is 3. A New Hope is 2. And Revenge of the Sith is 1.
Oh, okay.
That's my ranking.
That's not a bad ranking.
It's not a bad ranking. But here's the thing. When was the last time you watched Empire Strikes Back?
Probably 2 years ago.
Okay. The first half of Empire Strikes Back sucks.
What?
It's so boring.
What?
And
the whole Hoth scene?
You don't like them taking down the walker? Ever since I was a child, I've always fallen asleep in the first half of Empire Strikes Back.
You don't like
it's
Luke,
fine.
You don't like Luke fighting the Yeti, Han Solo ripping
Luke
open
fighting
the
Yeti
Tauntaun.
is nothing. Ripping open the Tauntaun is also nothing.
Okay, you don't like the walkers being taken down, like being tripped up.
It's a cool scene.
That whole fight scene's very cool. Luke going to Dagobah.
And that's not the first half.
Okay,
I'm talking about
the first half end.
The first half ends with like Luke going to.
Okay,
Dagobah.
so you're talking about the first act.
The first act,
because that's like the first
act is boring because there's so much about it too that they just like throw. I don't like being told. I want to be shown. I don't want to know.
Dude, every Star Wars movie starts off with telling you
stuff. Did Han Solo and Leia, were they a thing in A New Hope?
They kind of no. Well,
but they were a thing at the start of Empire Strikes Back. They had like some sort of established relationship. And you've already skipped over that. There's so many events that they just like throw out there that happen. I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I would have saw that instead of you just telling me about it. And we skip to this point.
Every Star Wars movie has a skip,
right? But it's not to the point to where I'm like, you're throwing in so much information at me that wasn't even in the pre-roll that I'm like, oh, I guess that happened. I guess that happened. I watched this movie like a week and a half ago. You haven't seen it too.
But I just watched Revenge of the Sith, and there's a lot in that movie that they just address. But was never shown. Like,
sure,
but when Anakin's like, I saved your skin for the 10th time, and Obi-Wan's like, 9th time. That business on.
But that's like a joke.
Hawk Tuah doesn't count.
Hawk Tour.
That was the name of the planet. That
Empire
Business on
Strikes
Hawk
Back
Tour
has
doesn't
like
count.
moments that like specific like character like development stuff. Like yeah, you assume
Dude,
Obi-Wan and Anakin have been in tight
the
spots.
time jump from episode 1 to episode 2 is 10 years.
Okay.
Anakin becomes an adult.
But yeah, that's like an established time jump. Like yes, there's an obvious time jump, but I'm saying like there's a lot of little details.
Every Star Wars movie
Would
has
you
a
have?
jump like
Are
that.
you telling me you wouldn't have rather seen like Han and Leia's like first romantic moment
the
together?
jump from episode 5 to episode 6, Luke becomes a nothing like 3 days of training Jedi to a fully formed Jedi Knight.
I understand there's jumps. I'm not disagreeing that there's
there
jumps.
are character
I'm saying there's
jumps.
specific, but those are things like you knew he was going to do. You knew he was going to do that. Like you knew he was going to go train and be a better Jedi. You knew that was going to happen. I'm just saying like I've seen Luke's first moments becoming a Jedi. I would have liked to see the beginning of Han and Leia's relationship.
Dude, every movie starts off with scrawling script. You have to read text.
Where in the text does it say that Han and Leia hooked up? Where in the text? Never. Not once.
I just think that your complaint can be applied to any Star Wars movie.
I
You
just
could
think-
say this.
I
You could
think
say the
it's
same thing about this
messy.
movie to any
I
movie.
think that the writing in the first act is messy. It jumps around. It doesn't flow very well. It is not that great
It's
and
just-
put together until he gets to Dagobah.
It's just crazy to have that complaint specifically for one of the movies. That's all. I'm not saying that you're 100% wrong, but I'm saying that if you have that complaint, it should be for like every movie.
I feel it most, and you know what? Part of it probably is because Empire Strikes Back. Okay, you know what? Revenge of the Sith. Like we've acknowledged that Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie, and I love it. But I said like it has problems, right? Like I said, like objectively, I know this movie is far from perfect. It has problems. It has things I don't like. It has every reason to be like a 7 out of 10 movie. But that's not like I'm telling you that it's my favorite movie, right? But I'm
Right.
acknowledging the wrongs. Empire Strikes Back, I guarantee you already people have commented how terrible of a person I am because I said anything negative about Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back is one of the most overrated movies of all time, despite majority of the movie being a masterpiece.
People do ride or die for that movie.
It's like it's either 100% or nothing.
But to be fair, people also ride or die for Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, but we acknowledge that there's parts of Revenge of the Sith that's bad. It's like how we all love
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 has memes. We love the memes.
Any critique of The Empire Strikes Back is blasphemy.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say anything wrong. So when you're watching Empire Strikes Back, you feel the negatives so much more than when you watch Phantom Menace because it has this expectation that it's this perfect movie that it's not.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. However, the complaint that you have presented, I don't agree with.
I'm just saying, I am bored. I get bored at the beginning of Empire Strikes Back. I agree that the rest of it is a masterpiece.
I love the first act.
I don't know what to tell you.
All right. I think that might be a good place to end it.
Yeah, we're gonna go fight.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Be sure to check us out on Patreon. We are now 18 Patreon members away. I got really gassy when I got worked up.
Right.
We're 18 Patreons away from Michael rewatching Revenge of the Sith, but this time with Alki.
Dude, when I was watching it this time, I was like, oh man.
I'm gonna have to drink here. I'm gonna have to drink there.
I literally was going whiny, one-liner, whiny, one-liner.
It's gonna be a night to remember for sure. But yeah, 18 Patreon members away. Just the Drive-In Movie Podcast on Patreon.com.
Yeah,
you can sub for a $1 membership. The free ones don't count.
Be sure to follow us on all of the socials, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you guys follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and rate 5 stars, you can also comment or review a movie opinion of yours, any movie, and we will read it here on the podcast like I did for Mahir, and we will argue about it, debate it, or agree with you, disagree with you, whatever. And also, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment on any of the videos, any movie opinion of yours doesn't have to be related to the video, to the movie that the video was about. We will also read it on here.
Yeah. Please go do that, and we appreciate all your guys' support so far. It's been really awesome.
Thank you guys for driving in.
Yeah, thank you guys for driving in with
next
us.
Time.
Yeah, next at the drive-in.
Thunderbolts.
Ooh, and
we'll have Jack Lifts.
We'll have Jack Lifts with us too.
Hopefully, if he doesn't cancel on us.
That's true.
All right.
Please don't cancel on us, Jack.
Love you, Jack. Bye, everybody.
Bye.